The crypto space is still effectively the wild west. And so as much as there are good projects, there are terrible and 1,000 more bad projects. At KIFS Crypto, we would like to share examples of anything good, bad, or in between. Because we feel if we give a man a fish, we can feed him for a day. If you teach a man to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime. So if we simply gave you only good projects, then how would you be able to weed out the fraudulent projects? We take our disclaimer extremely seriously. This is not financial advice, and this is strictly for educational purposes only. We are here not to simply show you what to invest in, but to educate and teach you how to invest. Also, I can't stress this enough. How many famous crypto YouTubers I have seen promote seriously bad or fraudulent projects. So please be careful and do your own research to protect yourself against the monsters. This brings me to a project review of an STO coin in the works called Star. I'm going to use this project as an example of what not to do and a step-by-step analysis of small to major red flags that you could note down so that you learn how to spot a bad project or fraud versus an ethically good project. So to understand what this project is, you need to understand what an STO is. Now, an ICO is an initial coin offering, as you all already know. So an STO is just that, but it has backing by regulatory and government bodies. So some are backed by European government bodies or US government bodies like the SEC that actually certifies and backs that coin. So it's got a lot of legal backing, and that's a very fundamental way of understanding what an STO is. So this project claims, and I emphasize the word claims, to be an STO. And we're going to dive a lot more deeper into why I don't think that is. To spot a bad project from a good one, you have to realize that no project is perfect. Every project has flaws. However, analyzing a project requires learning and assessing a cluster of flaws, rather than saying a project is good or bad based on one good or one bad attribute. Here, you look at the group of flaws or the group of pros and you assess accordingly. So this allows you to make a well-adjusted judgment on projects that you necessarily want to or don't want to invest in. The first thing I like to do is investigate their website URL. Now, minerstar.io, that is a same URL is used in multiple scams involving crypto, where they used minerstar.io to promote crypto-related services with a completely different website template. They even went as far as having multiple different URLs with the same template to reach more people to scam. The template they used to scam in the past is completely different from the template they are using now, and that really scares me. So now they've changed their whole template. They're still using the same scammy minerstar.io, and the scary thing is when I click on the certified scam approval of the link, when I click on that link, it leads to the new template. So this thereby legally proves that this website is a scam. And it also, what scares me even more is the amount of scams that they've done with the same URL and with multiple other URLs. It really annoys me because what this does is it takes away the beauty of the crypto space. The media tend to paint crypto in a very scammy sort of way, and this sort of plays on that narrative and increases the narrative in such a way that it leads less people to come into the crypto space. It makes it unapproachable. And this is what, we at KIFS Crypto, we don't like that. We want honesty, we want integrity, and we want it to be a more inclusive space. Also, the sad thing is these types of scams usually appear authentic, as the initial few that register tend to actually get a good return on their investment. But it's not from mining. They take the money from the first person registered to pay the second person registered, and that spreads like word of mouth, like wildfire, till they keep repeating, taking the hard-earned money of one client and giving it to another client. It's this type of pyramid scheme that really, really annoys me. So please watch out for this, as then they suddenly vanish, stealing everyone's money once their fraudulent goals have been met. In this crypto space, there's not one way of looking at scams and trying to spot if the project is authentic or not. There are multiple ways. So one of them is when you dive into the website, not just the URL, but the actual website, you can see a good example of it is this scammy website. The image of the words are barely legible. The title is effectively the first impression of the project on the website. For it to be written in a way that it is barely legible and gets disrupted with the background is clearly not a good start. The second thing is spelling errors. You can see from this image, YouTube. What the hell is YouTube? It's YouTube. Now, it may not seem like a big deal, spelling errors, but when you look at the psychology behind spelling errors, it can be quite telling. A lot of projects spend hours on hours to develop and craft their project. To have made a spelling error is not just a spelling error. It shows that the website was made in a rush and not given enough time to develop, which further concludes one of two reasons. Either their project has a fraudulent, ulterior motive, or they haven't had time to develop the website which they are promoting, which still doesn't add up. If you care about something and you're deeply passionate, you would spend more than 5 minutes on a website. Also, if you care about your project, you would want to make a good first impression that lasts long. So making such an extreme grammatical error disproves the longevity of the project. I can't take it seriously if you are not bothered to proofread. And if this is how they manage their front end, how can I believe in what they are doing behind the scenes? So a gravity of a spelling error and mistake is a massive tell that the project is either a bad project, a rug pull, or a scam. Luckily, I have the tools and expertise to see the scams through. But sometimes I may not be that lucky, and it's not so easy to find solid proof of a scam, like I found with this one. So a good way to start, a good template, is to jump into ICO drops. Now what ICO drops is it lists upcoming projects and projects that are already launched. If not, then try to see if you can get a description of the project on Messari. It's a bonus if it's on news sites like Cointelegraph, Decrypt, or Coindesk. Also have a look at the website's blog or YouTube channel. In this case, both were empty. And that showed that there was no effort made, no extra effort than to scam the people itself. Also, looking at CoinMarketCap, what you can see there is the circulating supply. Now, it's generally a good sign if the circulating supply is at 70 to 80%, and tends to make the coin less volatile. But then again, that depends on the max cap that it has, what amount it's capped at. Also, another thing that you need to focus on is, as much as the circulating supply and the tokenomics may be well in place, the project may also have many bad attributes. So always weigh in the coin, not just on one single positive point, but on a conclusive amount of negative and positive points together. Another thing to look at is the social media. Now, upon looking at this project, I jumped into the Twitter profile that they're so conveniently shared with me, and I found that there were barely any comments on their channel. And I also weighed that with the amount of followers that they have. And I realized the lack of engagement doesn't add up. Thus, I concluded that the followers are more or less bought and not authentic. I did extensive research into the team and CEO behind the so-called fraudulent mining company. The scary thing is they created a team and put real members from prestigious companies onto their website, which makes them sound very legit. However, always contact the members and research the members to see if they mention that fraudulent company anywhere. If there is no digital trail and the connection is more than likely fake and the members are thereby fake and stolen from prestigious companies. Like for me, I could say Bill Gates is a part of my company, but until you see Bill Gates himself sharing it and acknowledging it, it's more likely a lie. The CEO himself in this project also didn't have a strong digital presence, and I could not find him that easily online. That's another very strong red flag. The face behind the company is barely even a face. So how can you invest in the company? If the CEO cannot be easily found, it's a strong red flag. Another thing, and it's a very obvious thing, if the tokenomics are extremely brief and the white paper isn't there, then again, you're looking at a scam. Talking about crypto in more general sense and painting a picture about mining rather than focusing only about the specifics of the project itself. So when you're talking about the crypto space and a lot of these projects, what these scammy projects like to do is they like to generalize the crypto information. So what happens is they dive into general ideas about crypto and they don't really dive much into specifics, and that's another telltale sign that that's not the project for you and it's more likely a bad project or a scam. Another thing that I would like to mention is this project is got a token and not a coin or a native coin to the project, and I can't stress how easy it is for anyone to make a token. It's extremely easy to make a token. It's very quick, and doesn't mean that, oh, if it's just a token, then that means it's a scam. No, but when you weigh in all the points together, that's still a strong tell sign that, oh, yeah, you know what, they made a token. There's not much effort involved in that. Another thing I would like to focus on is the ticker name. Now, in this project, the ticker name is MST. So if you just do a quick search on CoinMarketCap, you will find that if the ticker name has the similar or same ticker names following after it, so if you find many other projects with the same or similar ticker name, again, as a singular point of view, not necessarily a bad sign. Coupled with many bad points, that is a bad sign. Like for example, with Polygon Matic, their Matic ticker name is quite common. However, the project's a very good project and it has many good points. So in that case, you can see that as an exception and it can be like, okay, you know what? That's not too bad. However, with a bad project or fraudulent project, it can be seen as a bad sign.